What's up, filthy animals? Ben from Blockbuster Mentality with another edition of our Blockbuster Ranked. Today, I will be ranking the MCU films. It started in 2008 with Iron Man, followed by Iron Man 2, and then Captain America, the First Avenger, and then Thor, and then the Avengers. That was all part of Phase 1. And then, so all of these movies are now interconnected. They are the same universe, thus the name Marvel Cinematic Universe. I tweeted out a poll, and this was the one you guys voted on. So here it is. There's been 14 films so far. Again, it started in 2008 with Iron Man, and we're already in 2017, almost 10 years in. With Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 right around the corner, I thought, why not? Perfect timing, so here you go. So 14 through 6, I'm just going to fly through, and then I'll give my top 5 MCU films. So at number 14, I have Thor: The Dark World, which was the second Thor film. Number 13, I have Incredible Hulk. That was the Edward Norton one before Mark Ruffalo was cast as Hulk in the first Avengers film. Number 12, I have Iron Man 2. Number 11, I have Captain America, the First Avenger. My number 10 MCU film would be Iron Man 3. My number 9 film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe would be Thor. First time we see Chris Hemsworth. My number 8 MCU film is Doctor Strange, the latest one that just came out in November 2016, starring Benedict Cumberbatch. My number 7, I think, is going to get a little heat. I think this film is a little overrated. A little overrated to be in some people's number 1. My number 7 is Captain America: Winter Soldier. Great film, great action, big ramifications in the actual whole universe. You know, big things happened in this movie. It was what they called a political thriller. It was a great film. It's just I don't see why people put it above certain films, but it's a great action. You really saw the power of Captain America here. You really saw his fight and his strength, and that's what I really loved about this film. It's lower on my list than a lot of other folks out there, but that's me. It's my personal list. Again, I'm not going off IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes or anything. It's just my personal opinion, how I favored these films. My number 6 is Avengers: Age of Ultron. I know you were scared for a second there, but don't worry. It's Age of Ultron. The only thing I was disappointed about in this film was the deception, I'd say, in the trailers. It seemed like it was going to be a lot more menacing, a lot more dark, and that wasn't in the film. It wasn't as dark as that. I was a little disappointed, but overall, I thought this film was very enjoyable. Thought it was a great second edition and a great way to end Phase 2. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And Vision, that's what I wanted to mention. Vision was the standout to me. That's where I for some reason, Vision just blew me away. I loved what Paul Bettany did with Vision. It was a great addition to the universe and to the films. So that was the main thing that I enjoyed about the film. All right, so now we're going to my top 5. So here we are, top 5 Marvel Cinematic Universe films. At number 5, I have Ant-Man. That's right, Ant-Man, starring Paul Rudd. First of all, Paul Rudd, what a great addition to this universe. I think he just added so much comedy, so much charm, and I think this is exactly what it needed. It was described as a heist film, which it was, but it definitely was more comedic than action, but it really emphasized the comedic side of things, which I loved. And Paul Rudd, is one of the funniest actors out there. Michael Douglas as Hank Pym. Thought just everything about the casting was perfect in this film. And then this goes to the villains of the films. I mean, I don't have a problem with the villains of the MCU as much as I'd say other folks do, but Corey Stoll as a Yellow Jacket I thought did a phenomenal job. I think he was very threatening and menacing. and just it was just an enjoyable film, great heist film, great comedy film, and just I'm so glad they added it. My number 4 MCU film would be Iron Man, the very first one, the one that started the MCU, the one that started it all, started the craze of the mid-credit scene or the end credit scene. You had Nick Fury coming at the end, explaining the Avengers initiative to Iron Man. It's like, what is this? After a credit scene, what is this? This is kind of what started it all. And Iron Man is just it's a great story, great Robert Downey Jr. I mean, can't go wrong with him. Perfect casting choice for Iron Man. You couldn't, I can't imagine anyone else in this role, even after I saw the first one. The way Robert Downey Jr. just does things and the way Jon Favreau directed this film was just totally outstanding. And Jeff Bridges, a great addition as the villain in the film, and just all around, just love this movie. Number 3 is The Avengers. The first Avengers film. This was what they were all leading up to since 2008. It was all leading up to this. This is what everyone's been waiting for. They finally did it with The Avengers. They brought them all together. They built it up for 4 years, and boom, we got it. All the Avengers together. You had Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow, Hawkeye, who was introduced in Thor very briefly. So they were just building up to this. That's when you knew, okay, they knew what they were doing all along. But yeah, Avengers, just what a movie. The heroes, just the typical, oh, we don't like each other at first, and then, oh no, we need to band together and really fight this thing. Typical, but just the way it was brought about was just outstanding. Joss Whedon, the director of the film, did a phenomenal job. Great action. Obviously, I mean, it's all these movies have great action. I mean, that's an understatement there. At the end credit scene of the first Avengers, you had Thanos. That's when we were first introduced to Thanos. He's been orchestrating this all. He's been manipulating things. He's trying to get those Infinity Stones. We were first introduced to him, so it's all just this 9-year, and by the time Infinity War comes out, it'll be 10-year. This 10-year build-up to this final battle we've been waiting for, and my nerd. I'm tingling right now. But yeah, The Avengers, my number 3 MCU film. All right, so my number 2 is Captain America: Civil War. Wow, what a film! What a film! I don't see. I mean, again, film is subjective, and I appreciate that. Personally, I don't see how someone enjoys Winter Soldier above Civil War. It's basically Avengers 2.5 or Avengers 3. So many other characters in this film, but it's such an emotional movie, but action packed as well. You're torn as to what side you're on. Are you on Captain America's side at one point, and then you're like, oh, I see Iron Man's point, I'm on his side, and then you go back and forth. It's just that if a movie can do that, I'm astounded by that. Love the addition of Spider-Man. Tom Holland is Spider-Man. Obviously, you had Black Panther. More Vision. Love me some Vision. And just everything about this film was phenomenal. And then everyone talks about the airport action scene. You see more of Ant-Man. They incorporated everyone and just had everyone pick sides and basically tore them apart. But it's obviously, like I said, it's going to lead up to Avengers 3. It's going to lead up to Avengers Infinity War, which is what everyone's excited about. My number 1 film, my favorite film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is Guardians of the Galaxy, which if you told me that I'd be saying this 4 years ago, I'd say you are nuts, because 4 years ago I don't think I've even heard of Guardians of the Galaxy. Never heard of them in the comics. I didn't hear of them until they announced that there was going to be a film, Guardians of the Galaxy. Chris Pratt. Come on. Chris Pratt. He's an action star now, but yet they incorporated his comedy into it. They added so much fun, and just this movie was so different than any of the other films. It didn't seem like a comic book movie. If you've never seen any of these other 13 films of the 14 and you only saw this, it could be it's just a standalone film. You really don't need to see those other films. Obviously it'll add a little spice to it, a little tiny bit more enjoyment, but it truly is a standalone film, and it's just a great sci-fi action movie, and just totally took me by surprise, which I say a lot in these videos, but it really did. It truly did. Wasn't expecting much in this film at all, and yet it totally blew me away. Amazing special effects. Groot. How can you not love Groot? I mean, Vin Diesel is Groot. Rocket Raccoon, voiced by Bradley Cooper. Chris Pratt. Zoe Saldana as Gamora. And we got to see more Thanos. We got to see Thanos actually talk, have a little bit of a part in this film, obviously played by Josh Brolin. So that was awesome to see. Just such a fun movie, and that's why it's my number one in the Marvel Cinematic Universe films. Please let me know what your favorite MCU movies are. You can list your favorites in the comments below. Be sure to like this video. Also, subscribe and check out our other videos. Check out our podcasts. We have a podcast every Friday on iTunes. But that's it for me. I'll catch you guys at the movies.